This is Gary Atenzi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. We are here at Davis & Associates Professional Background Services. I am here with Steve, who is the CEO and owner. Since 2006, Steve, your company's been providing professional background services. Quite honestly, though, with 30-plus years in the law enforcement, you've been doing this for a while. Let me ask you, first of all, why did you break off on your own and thought this service would be something that people could use?
I was in law enforcement for over 30 years, and when I got out of law enforcement in 2006, I decided to try to start my own business at doing pre-employment background screening, mostly for the fact that it's a needed industry out there. A lot of people do it online. There's a lot of instant background checks online, and it's very dangerous. People have no idea how dangerous it is, that the information they're getting online might not be complete and concise. So I decided to build a team of investigators where we did kind of the hands-on background checks for employment, where people can pick up the phone if they have a question, and we can clearly define what a background check is, what an arrest is compared to a conviction, and the technicalities that the federal law requires on background checks.
Excellent. With many years in this type of service, let me ask you, do you think it's more relevant today than it was, let's say, 20 years ago?
It certainly is. For whatever reason, there's a huge need for background checks. Even in the 6 years that I've been doing, it's grown a lot. With the economy the way it is, people can pick and choose more on who they hire. And so with that, they want to make sure they have the best possible employee to work for them. And you want to make sure they're who they are saying they are, and the information's correct. You don't want to hire somebody in the banking industry that, has past theft problems. You don't want to hire somebody that might be a sexual predator. One of my biggest clients found us because of that, unfortunately. Somebody walked into their store and recognized somebody that assaulted them, and now they do background checks because of that reason.
Absolutely, and a lot of big companies out there have always done that, but be it a small business or all the way up to a larger corporation, it's pretty much needed. A lot of the viewers may not understand that a lot of times you don't need a full-blown investigation, a full-blown background check. So tell me the difference between your basic, your standard, and maybe more advanced backgrounds.
Absolutely. A background check can vary depending on what your needs are. We service industries of 2 people in a company up to 20,000 people and everything in between. You might just need a simple Colorado background check to make sure this person hasn't committed a crime in the state of Colorado and is not a sex offender. And that is pretty cheap. People don't realize that, that's under $30, and that's a good peace of mind. Or you might need a complete corporate CEO background check, which requires us going somewhere, knocking on neighbors' doors, doing complete asset search of this person to find out, are they who they say they are? Is the information that they've provided to the employer correct and concise? And those sometimes can get pricey. It's all in how you feel the need. $200 or $300 is worth the price of somebody that's running your company, then it's a small price to pay.
Absolutely. And like we talked about, it's a little bit easier to hide your identity with the internet and whatnot. And so how important is it, a lot of the different tools and things that you guys are able to use as far as social media and everything else that you can actually verify that your content is correct?
Well, statistically, there are over half people lie on their applications and their resumes. It's a huge number, and it's rising every day. We are forced to go to more and more information sources. We have subscription sources that we pay monthly charges to that get more than the public information can get, like on the online sites. And then we use just basic sources like Facebook, for instance, a great source to use for our background checks. A lot of people put personal information. You don't want to hire somebody that's going to be driving your school bus loaded of kids at the daycare center that's posting pictures of them drunk at a party and say they drove home. We use professional databases that have information from all walks of life, be it people's criminal, civil, find out as much as we can on them.
Excellent. A lot of this is done in the background with you basically checking out. You've got a team here in-house. They can get pretty deep, sort of say, but you guys even take it a step further as far as more of a hands-on approach when it comes to if we need you to do an interview, that can be done. Tell me what an integrity interview is.
An integrity interview, we usually glean about a third more information than just a basic interview that you, the employer, can do. A lot of times an integrity interview is compared to like a polygraph without the machinery. We ask people to just verify the information on their resume, and then we verify that information and fill in any gaps. A lot of times people will say, well, I worked here from 2006 to 2008, and we realize that between those times they also had 2 other jobs, and there's a reason they didn't want to tell you that. because they were fired or something bad happened. And they will give that information to us when we dig deeper, in person, face to face. We also read their body language. We are all experts in reading body language. We've taken advanced classes, and we can tell when people are being deceitful and getting off subject and omitting information from us, which gets a lot more information.
Valuable to have. Let me ask you also, private individuals and businesses that you guys cater to, but you also work alongside attorneys. Can you tell me some of the legal services that you provide for them?
We do. A lot of our larger clients, we have 4 of the largest law firms in Denver that we work for, and a lot of those are personal injury lawyers. Their information ranges from just simply calling witnesses to the accident to find out, did this accident really happen like their client said it's happened? Are they telling the truth? Witnesses that can confirm or deny that the light was red, that the intersection was the way it was. And also we do video depositions. We do defendant interviews. We take photos of injuries. We talk to the attorneys. We pretty much run the whole gamut.
What time you guys close the office here? But I imagine it sounds like a 24-hour-a-day situation when we're talking about surveillance or anything else that is needed.
Sometimes we don't close the office. We do run for days upon end. We do some surveillance. We have the surveillance vans, and we have investigators that go out and do surveillance for different degrees. We don't do the cheating spouses. We contract that work out to other people. A lot of the surveillance we do is for law firms that say, is this client hurt? I want to know if they're going to King Soopers and shop when they say they can't get out of bed, things like this. We also do investigations for criminal investigations where retail stores might have an internal theft problem that the police just don't have the time to investigate, and we'll certainly help them out with that.
Wonderful. Viewers out there, you've got everything there. Their contact information is the bottom of the screen right there, as well as their website is. Do keep in mind, we are talking about a full gamut of investigative services, background checks that you may need out there, and everything from a people finder all the way to something more serious like a homicide or suicide. They can basically dig right in and find out what information is true, what's verifiable. They have a full team that is working a lot of times around the clock. Somebody out there who'll be doing more than an online $20 check, but I don't know if I have the budget that would allow me to bring you on. What would you tell somebody like that?
Well, first thing I'd like to tell people is do your homework on your private investigator. Make sure that they are licensed, bonded, and insured. A lot of times they aren't. You need to treat an investigator just like you would a plumber. Colorado currently doesn't have a private investigator license. The bill was passed last year. Next year at this time, we will be licensed. Currently, our company is licensed in the states of Arizona and Kansas, so we are licensed. And we hope to be licensed in Colorado in 2012. Do your homework. Find out who your investigators are. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that put investigators in a bad light, so you want to get the most professional you can.
Excellent, folks. Once again, their contact information is the bottom of the screen right there as well. They have all the tools that make it possible to find out if someone exists or basically is who they say they are. And in this day and age with identity being out there as the number one thing that people are trying to change about themselves, definitely it's something that'll save you money down the road. It's kind of a preventative maintenance, if you will.
Unfortunately, our job security is strong in these days, and I'm proud to say that my job is to go out there and find the truth, and I sleep well at night, and I look forward to it every day of doing this job.
Excellent. Thank you, folks. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.